Welcome back to the Goku Report, and I thought I'd do a special new top 10 list today. This is going back a little bit in time with some of these lists, but I thought I would share a bit of my personal love for something that unfortunately is dying over time. And that something is called malls. As we know best now here on YouTube, specifically a series called Dead Mall series, specifically by, of course, Dan Brown, or sorry, Dan Brown, Dan Bell. He would really start an entire subgenre of YouTube channels and YouTube styles called the Dead Mall series. Now, to be fair, there are a few other smaller channels that have visited many malls and stuff over time, which aren't necessarily always dead malls. So, with that said, today I thought I'd share a little bit 10 of my personal favorite malls that I have visited throughout the years. Predominantly will mostly only be malls in pretty much 4 states, are predominantly places I have visited malls in. Home state of course, West Virginia, Virginia, Ohio, and Kentucky. Predominant because that's where I mostly visit. And I lived about 2 years in Virginia as well, so I got to visit multiple malls while I was down there. Some were good, some were not so good. And I will mention the year, the last time I visited that mall. So, with that said, first up, coming at number 10, is unfortunately, the only mall on this top 10 list in Ohio. I have personally visited a total of 4 malls in Ohio, but this is the main mall that really has stuck with me and is really the only mall in Ohio I have actually visited multiple times. I have probably visited this mall 4 times over the years, predominantly because I would always visit this mall whenever I would go with whether friends, family, for educational purposes to the Cincinnati Zoo, and would constantly go to this mall while in Cincinnati. Coming at number 10 is called Cincinnati Mills, or also known as the Forest Fair Mall, located in Ohio. Now, last time I visited this mall was actually all the way back in 2008, 14 years ago. To be fair, it's because it's been quite a long time since I've actually been to Cincinnati, though it is arguably one of my favorite cities in Ohio, probably second to Columbus. And though it didn't really stick with me, I visited a town center small mall in Columbus. Didn't really stick with me as much as the Cincinnati Mills Mall. Coming in at number 9, located in West Virginia. Now, the last time I visited this mall was 2014, 8 years ago. Quite a long time. I've visited this mall on 3 separate occasions. I do have pretty good experience with the mall. I would usually, if I went to this mall, I went with a couple of friends at the time, sadly, no longer around this area. They moved out of state. Um, that mall is called Plaza Mall. It is located in Crossroads, West Virginia. Uh, Basically, it's located in between, of course, Huntington and Charleston. Closer to Charleston. But it's actually a pretty nice mall. Honestly, it's definitely one of the smaller malls on my list. But it is one I genuinely did enjoy and had very good experiences with. I did like the food court, and overall, it's definitely one of the also cleaner malls I've been to. Coming at number 8, located again in West Virginia. Last time I visited this mall was in 2016, so 6 years ago. This mall, and the reason why I would visit this mall on occasion when I would go with friends specifically to certain places, I would visit this mall. And it's predominantly because of just the atmosphere, the aesthetics of the actual inside of the mall. It feels like you walked back into like the 1970s or 80s, and I just love that like retro feel of the mall and everything. That's something I've always really enjoyed about some classic style malls. I'm not as big a fan of the more modern aesthetics and like designs by modern artists and stuff, or architecture experts. I'm just not as big a fan of the current, more um, boring color aesthetics nowadays. I miss like the neon colors and everything like that of the 80s and 90s. But this is one of the malls that has kept a lot of the classic look. Unfortunately, it is not doing the greatest, though there are people who have tried to keep it alive. Coming at number 8 is called Mountaineer Mall. Coming in next at number 7, we go to the first of a couple of malls that I visited and I have good memories of when I lived in Virginia. The first mall, this is located in Chesapeake, Virginia. Last time I visited this mall was in 2007, so quite a long time. I would end up visiting this mall on 4 separate occasions. I really like it. It's definitely one of the smaller malls I've been to, by far. And especially on this list, it's probably one of the top 3 small malls. But I had really good experiences with it. I think there was definitely a decent variety of things there. And that's one thing I like. A lot of times I think it's going to be a little leaner sometimes with smaller malls, and that's a good thing. Coming at number 7 is called Chesapeake Square Mall, located in Chesapeake, Virginia. Now, I want to say quickly an honorable mention to another mall that I've been to in Virginia. I really like to be on the smart side. The Lynn Haven Mall, located in Lynn Haven, Virginia, just outside of Virginia Beach. It is actually a really nice mall, personally, and I really liked the sushi bar that was there. Dishonorable mention to another mall I went to when I lived down there. Not the greatest experiences in just about a year or two after I would leave and come back here. There ended up a shooting at that mall. Um, it was called the Military Circle Mall in Norfolk, Virginia. Coming in next at number 6, located, well, in the capital in West Virginia. Last time I visited this one was 2012, so 10 years ago. It definitely was going downhill, especially in the later half of the 2000s into the early 2010s. There was definitely a lot more crime issues and problems, like theft got really out of control and things. And there was a lot of attempted like theft and stuff, especially in the parking garage connected to the mall. That is coming at number 6. Still gets number 6 because I have really good memories of the 90s. In the 90s, this mall was great. Really, the 80s to the end of the 90s was really the best time period to visit this mall. And that being the Charleston Town Center Mall, which is actually a 3-story mall. At the time, for the longest time, like the third floor was pretty much nothing but a food court the whole floor, which is cool. Though over time they've changed a lot of things over the years, especially throughout the 2010s. But yeah, from when I visited last 2012, you could see a major difference from when I used to visit in the late 90s when I would go to see WCW live at the local arena in Charleston, which was located just like a block or two from the actual Charleston Town Center Mall, which is really cool location and everything. It was convenient. Um, Coming in next at number 5, located again in West Virginia. Last time I visited this mall was 2016, one of the more recent ones. Honestly, this is probably one of the best malls in West Virginia by far. Definitely one of the busiest and most successful malls, other than the local mall where I live. This is arguably the top competitor mall in West Virginia when it comes to actual thriving and doing well economically, compared to many other malls in many bigger states are dying left and right. Like Ohio is having a real issue with that. And there are definitely malls in West Virginia having some issues, like the Charleston Town Center has really gone downhill. But coming in number 5 is definitely not having that same issue. They've managed to find a lot of good investors and management. Coming in at 5 is called the Grand Central Mall. Like I said, located here in my home state. It's a really good mall, honestly, really clean. It's well taken care of and managed, and that is some of the key importances, in my opinion. Coming at number four is the other mall that I really enjoyed. Sadly, apparently, this mall started going downhill a couple of years after I moved back. But at the time when I was shopping there was back during probably close to its peak era of business. That is the Greenbrier Mall, located in Chesapeake, Virginia. Arguably out of the cities in the Hampton Roads area, which I've visited all seven cities, I would say Chesapeake is my personal favorite. Then it's probably between Virginia Beach and maybe Suffolk. Um, but yeah, Greenbrier Mall is nice. It's a two-story total, but I have a lot of good memories from the Cine Cafe, which has its own separate opening. It was a Cinemark movie theater that was a combination cinema and restaurant in one. You could actually sit down, booths, order dinner, and watch a movie on the big screen while eating your dinner. It's a really cool concept and idea, and sad to see I have not seen in any other malls or anywhere else a Cine Cafe. And it sucks because it was great. That was my number one reason why I liked going there. That and there was a cool shop that specialized in selling like swords, daggers, knives, like different types of weapons and stuff. It was really cool. Also, some really good. There was definitely some good Japanese and Chinese restaurants also there. And I really miss was it Walden Books that used to be there. But anyways, yeah, Rain Burmo comes in. Last time visited was 2010. Coming in next, number three is actually last time I visited this place was in 2009. It was usually went with a couple people or family. Usually they would want to go and attend the whole craziness of like Bridge Day at the New River Gorge, which is a big event in West Virginia. New River Gorge is an experience unto itself just to see the gorgeous view and how huge the freaking bridge is. You go at like stops and stuff. Plus, there's great like whitewater rafting and all kinds of stuff. I mean, it's fun. There's a lot of great outdoor events and stuff. Also, in this area, you have the Greenbrier Hotel, which is, of course, famous, I would say, arguably, for many different reasons, and would become a key thing, of course, in Fallout 76 as well. But located about 30 minutes or so away from New River Gorge is this awesome mall that very few people have ever talked or know about. And the aesthetics, you go inside, it's like you walk back into the 60s or 70s with all the wood and stuff. And also, there's a really good Italian restaurant in the, I'm not sure if it's still there now, but there was a great Italian restaurant in this mall. It was called the Greenbrier Valley Mall, located in, like I said, in West Virginia. Second to last is the main local mall to where I live. Mostly it gets number two because of nostalgia and everything, and I've been going to the mall basically since I can remember, since probably around 1990. Back when it was very different, in the late 2000s, they would renovate after the mall would change handlers, owners to a banking firm, which currently has owned the mall now for multiple years. Located just outside the town by the interstate exit of 64, just outside in village, or rather located in Barboursville, West Virginia, the Huntington Mall. Last time I visited, about a month ago, so 2022. But yeah, the Huntington Mall, it's not nearly as great as it used to be, though there's definitely been some improvements over time. Sometime I might even do a little vlog video, maybe showing a bit of the mall. Specifically, some of my favorite places in the mall, like, I really like the Cinemark movie theater. Also, Books A Million is one of my personal favorite places. Luckily, we still have a thriving JCPenney. You have also TJ Maxx. Oh yeah, also Toys R Us is going to be back in the location where Macy's has been in the mall. So that's also cool. You have a great variety of things at the food court. If you're ever around here new, can go to Huntington Mall. Recommend. You have a pretty good Japanese express place. You have a great Japanese express place called Hibachi Master. Also, we have Ruby Tuesday. You have Chick-fil-A. You have a couple other like local restaurants and stuff. Also with Sabaro. So you have a variety of great places and multiple restaurants just outside, like Panera, Chili's, Buffalo Wild Wings. I mean, a great variety of restaurants. But with that said, yeah, coming at number two is the Heinz Mall. Coming at number one, my personal favorite, last time visited last year, 2021, the other local mall, though it's definitely a bit amount smaller than the Heinz Mall. I like it more because of the variety of places. Also, cool fact about this mall, there's actually a Girl Scout store in the mall, so you can get Girl Scout cookies all year around. Also, still has an FYE with a pretty decent selection of vinyl records. A really cool, like, place, like, comic book shop. If you like comics or toys, they specialize in comic books. They also specialize in, like, statues, memorabilia of comic book related stuff, as well as, like, magic cards, stuff like that. And they even have like a little ice cream parlor thing inside it too, which is cool. Coming at number one, located just across the river in Kentucky, the Ashland Town Center Mall, located in Ashland, Kentucky. A really nice, honestly beautiful small town, about 30,000. It's really nice. You get a chance, I recommend checking. And right across the road, you have a Cinemark movie theater, as well as many other like good restaurants like Texas Roadhouse. There's even like a Fiesta Bravo still around, and many other things. One of the main anchors has been J.C. Penney. Once upon a time, the Ashland Town Center Mall actually had a Walmart as one of its key anchor stores, which is weird. When Walmart would relocate to get building a supercenter much larger in size, about 5 minutes away, yeah, believe it or not, JCPenney would go in and replace. So that's kind of weird. A JCPenney replacing a Walmart, very unique and interesting. But luckily, where I live, actually around here, JCPenney's is still doing incredibly good business. Personally, I'm a big fan of the chain as a whole. But with that said, I'll see y'all next time. Stay safe and yeah, get a chance, check out some of these malls. And there's many other good malls. These are just the ones that really have the biggest lasting impact on me personally. But with that said, I'll see y'all next time. Stay safe out there.